in Winding Gulf, which is a coal mining camp that consists of rows of houses of miners, a company store, a movie house, and churches, divided between the black community and the white community, who tended to live in rows on various hills and valleys. In that respect, there was lots of fun to do. There was nothing much for kids to do but play and go to church, which was, of course, sort of one thing for us. And I had two cousins known affectionately as Weagle and Cece. We were the same height, we did the same things, and we played as equals. And I never noticed, or maybe never even knew, that they were 1 year older than I. So one fated fall, they went to school, and I stayed home, and they had the nerve to come back reading eventually. It was the only thing that we ever did that they did that I couldn't do. I was devastated. And my father, who was a school teacher, so he did have certain edges. He taught high school, not in Winding Gulf, but nevertheless, went to the school and got their book. And when he came home from work at night, he taught me to read that book. Nick and Dick were twins. Nick wore a blue suit and Dick wore a red suit, and they had a dog named Spot, is how that began. And what happened was they came home reading, and when they got there, I was reading. It was an extremely powerful experience for me, and it taught me right there the value of literacy. And it also taught me right there what I wanted to be, a teacher.
Thank you for sharing that. Can you talk a little bit more about the role of the church in your upbringing, and say whether it was Methodist church or other?
Absolutely. As I said, in Winding Gulf, West Virginia, church was the activity. I went to a church that was a Methodist church. At the time, I did not know it was a Methodist church. It was simply church. Oh, yes, I did know it was a Methodist church, because there was a Baptist church, talking about churches for black people. White people went to church too. I know not where, somewhere over some mountain in Winding Gulf. But the two black churches, there was a Baptist church. Some of our friends went to the Baptist church, and we went to the Methodist church. I didn't know what that even meant, but I went to a Methodist church. But more importantly than that, at the church, there was a model that has stayed with me. This is what you do in church, besides praise God. You behave. You hear fabulous music. I loved the gospel music that we sang. My favorite one was when Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. I loved that song. And I think what happened as I grew older is that I like the minor key. But I loved to sing that song. So we had Bible stories. We all knew, in our minds, we knew the stories of the Bible. We knew by observation that you read in church. Somebody read the Bible. And we were given cards as little kids that had pictures on the front of scenes from the Bible. All of these scenes involve white people, but nevertheless, those were biblical photographs. And on the back there were words. We didn't know how to read those words, but they were read to us. So in church, besides worship, or in part of worship, was what you read, what you heard, and even more powerful, what we as children were expected to do. We were expected to behave. We were expected to sit still, even though sometimes that was too long for us. And I remember peppermint candy and crackers, which my grandmother gave to me when it got long. But out of that was just a very valuable, wonderful, joyful feeling that you went to church.